Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are back on the 3rd gen Camaro. Time to put the suspension together. The engine's back in the car. So what I have here is some aftermarket lowering springs for this car. Now these, I believe they're 1.5 inches. So here's a comparison to the original springs. These are obviously the fronts. This was the original spring versus the aftermarket. Sitting straight. Yeah, original is a little bit taller. Basically half a coil, maybe even a coil. So these will be going in. Remember, when you're putting these in, now the aftermarket ones, if you look at one side of it is ground flat. You can see that here. And that's the side that goes on top. Okay, the other side is perfectly round on the spring coil. That's the bottom side. If you look at the original spring, both sides were round. There wasn't ground flat. But the aftermarket one side will be flat. And the rubber insulators will go on the top also. So that'll end up being on the flat side. So this is the way it will go into the control arm, with the insulator, and the flat side up top will go into the control arm that way. So we'll go ahead and start installing these. I'll leave a part number for these springs and the whole kit in the description. I might still yet get some polyurethane aftermarket insulators. These were the original ones. They're kind of been in there for a while. They're really not holding shape anymore, so I might get some aftermarket ones before I put these in. Now let's take a look at the rear springs. Here are our rear springs, original compared to the aftermarket. You can see the height's a little bit smaller on the aftermarket. It does seem to be a little bit heavier than the original springs, which is actually nice. Now these springs again, they seem to be very good quality. The paint's actually really nice on them. Quality-wise, they seem really good. It fits the price. They're not super expensive. You can go with Iroc or BMR or other name brands. I don't think they're any better than these, really. Even judging by all the other reviews of this product, they seem to be right at their advertised height, between 1.5 to 1.8 inches as far as the drop on these. As the others are reviewing them, they seem to be real good quality. Makes the vehicle ride nice. I do have the front ones in. Struts are on, the mounts are on. Springs went in fairly easy, just with a pry bar and holding a jack at the bottom. They look great. It's time to do the rears. I'm gonna be working on putting the rears in. I have the axle out with a coat of paint. It's all cleaned up. I'm gonna replace the seals on this, new fluid. So we'll get these springs back in, and we'll do a separate video on once the car's on the ground and see how it sits compared to how it was. But I think this is a great product. I'm gonna actually leave a link in the description for you. If you for the price with what you pay for these versus the Iroc or the Emax, what have you, or the other name brands, these are definitely worth the price that you pay for. Really good product. So far, I'm liking them. So like I said, we'll do another video once all the springs are in, all the parts are back in. We'll get the rear axle back in. I thank you for watching.